Hi everyone, my name is Laurentiu, and in this video I am going to talk about all FIFA games for the Sony PSP. FIFA is a game franchise that we all know. Even people who don't play video games know this series. In this video I am going to briefly present you the games released for the Sony PSP and try to tell you what came new with each installment. This video is not an in-depth review, but rather a brief presentation of each game in particular, and compared one after another. Also, the game order is not necessarily chronological, but the order is more easily to digest. FIFA Street 2 is a fantastic game, and it's very nice that they made this on a handheld console. It lacks some features the PS2 version has, like taunt or risk versus reward game breakers, but instead comes with better adapted controls for a better FIFA experience on the go. Since the console lacks a right analog stick, they mapped the controls so that you can use the random trick button to do ball tricks automatically, and it works pretty well. Sure, for hardcore fans it is always nicer to choose what trick to do yourself, but just for a flashy gameplay, the random trick button works like a charm. Also, when defending, you get a flashing button that, if pressed right, well, your player gets the ball. In career mode, you get to create your own character. Also, the game has some mini games like sharpshooting. Being released before the World Cup, the game was awesome that it provided expectations, meaning that you could choose one of the countries and win the cup with it. And the game is even more than that. It not only has the 32 teams qualified for the World Cup, but also has 127 teams from all over the world. So the game doesn't only work like a simulator for the World Cup, you can create what scenario you want. The graphics are good looking, and the atmosphere of the game gives you a good feeling, from the crowd armed with confetti to the match commentary. Also, aside from the quick matches and career mode, like every FIFA game, this game too has multiplayer, so you can play with your friends. It is laggy many times during online matches, but if you can get past that stuff, you're playing an online PSP match with your friend. When EA announced that they want to make a FIFA game for the PSP, many thought that they are going to flop, but it didn't. It was a very tight experience to the console one. The game had more than 350 fully licensed club and international teams from all over the world, and a gameplay that was fun, sleek, and very comfortable to take on the go. You can even create a character like in the big version. It also has a transfer market option, meaning you can move which players you like in other teams and shift the players in a team as you like. As for graphics, they are good. It's nice that the textures are detailed enough to see the names on the back of the players and that many characters are recognizable, meaning that the faces are well done. The AI is good, the players move realistically enough, and the ball physics are nice too. But what makes the game even more fun, and all FIFA games have this feature, is multiplayer. You can play FIFA with another friend that has a PSP for the ultimate fun. Next up for review is FIFA 6. Well, this game was actually released before World Cup Germany, but it is easier for me to present it here after that game than before it, because there isn't much of a change. The graphics and ball physics are a little worse because, well, World Cup Germany is more recent. In rest, it doesn't have the World Cup tournaments, but rather career modes and quick matches. The career matches are there to give you motivation to play more matches. It has a lot of teams, and the control scheme is refined from the previous titles. In rest, it has mini games, and it lags. It's still a good FIFA game, but it doesn't really stand out comparing with other ones. Either this, or I don't know how to look at the game. But the thing I liked about the game was that it was more arcade-ish, meaning it was way more forgiving than other FIFA games, which made you feel like a superhero on the field, especially on lower difficulties. FIFA 7 has the same gameplay, but comes with some minor improvements, like an even more realistic physics and a slightly better AI, which will make you pass the ball to your teammates more frequent, and also the change of ball possession will be more frequent. The physics are better now. The ball movements feel more realistic, and also the players are affected by the angle you throw the ball at them, meaning that passes from odd angles have a big chance of not working, and also sharpshooting doesn't work like in the FIFA 6. Now it's more realistic, so flashy goals are more rare, and you have to watch your angles and your power meter because you can miss more easily. In FIFA 8, you get, in addition to the normal quick match and tournament mode, an IQ mode, where you have to answer questions correctly to score goals. It begins with the easy ones, and as you progress and answer correctly, your player will dribble to the goal, and before shooting and scoring, you have to answer 2 hard questions correctly. Also in online play, you get interactive leagues, where you can represent your favorite country online against other players. In Rest, it has more challenges overall and has more numerous features than the other ones till now. Another neat feature of the game is that it lets you import your PS2 data into it and from it. In Rest, gameplay wise and graphic wise, there seems like nothing changed. The novelties FIFA 9 brings is that in addition to the other modes you get in a FIFA game, this year we get also the Be a Pro game mode. Also, there are more animations to the game that make the experience better. On FIFA 10, I think that EA went on the saying that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't get me wrong, it's a marvelous experience. You have a huge amount of game modes to choose from and many teams, but nothing seems to be new or improved from last year. It's just different, but not groundbreaking or even innovative. It's just fresh. FIFA 11 brings as innovations a new game mode, Be a Goalie, where you can guess from the name what it is. I found it not that satisfying because the PSP didn't feel to be the right console for such a minigame. In Rest, a new innovation FIFA 11 brings is the new 360-degree dribbling, which gives you more possibilities than the classic octagonal dribbling mechanics. In Rest, the game is still the rich experience you know from the previous years. FIFA 12 brings nothing new on the table except for the updated teams and updated menu images. But in Rest, I didn't find anything innovative from the previous games. It's still a fantastic experience, don't get me wrong, but even though fantastic, you can't ignore that it is almost a copy-paste version of the previous title. In FIFA 13, the graphics are improved, and I don't know why, but I had more fun in the career mode than in the previous ones, even though it didn't seem different from the objective standpoint. Even the Be a Keeper mode felt a little better. Also, a nice touch is that when the ball is far from the player, a yellow halo appears around the ball, so you can find it more easily on the screen. There are the same game modes and the same rich and fun experience. FIFA 14 didn't bring anything new to the series on the PSP. It had a huge amount of game modes that are fun and will provide many hours of fun. The graphics and physics look a little better, but in Rest, it seems like it's the same game. And the last game that has to be reviewed is 2010 FIFA World Cup South Africa. It's the same FIFA experience as you know it. As game modes, you have Quick Match, World Cup Tournament and Captain Your Country, which lets you play a simulation of the World Cup, but you play with your country to see it win. Also, you have various challenges in the mix. In Rest, the gameplay is fun, it had some frame drops here and there, and the AI didn't felt that smart. In conclusion, these are the FIFA games released for the Sony PSP. You can see that along the years, improvements came. there were also games that felt like real copy-pastes of previous ones. But in general, each game brought something new on the table. And you can't really judge EA for not having that much variation. I mean, considering that the FIFA games are football games, just imagine something more spectacular than the FIFA games did, while still keeping it realistic. I think that the FIFA games are awesome experiences on the go, that are worth playing. They bring innovations, but they don't really change the game that much, because, well, there isn't much that can be changed, especially considering that the PSP's hardware is not capable as a PC or a PS2 one.